Good morning, and this morning I'd like to talk to you about another replica of an ancient artifact I made when I was doing a reenactment. This time it's not a musical instrument. It's a replica of a backgammon board, an Anglo-Norman backgammon board and its pieces, which were found in Gloucester and which date from somewhere between the late 11th and the early 12th century. The original was found during the excavation of Commercial Road in 1983. It's the earliest complete backgammon set. There has been, apart from a Roman example, which dates from the 5th century. The Romans knew backgammon as the ludus judas inscriptorum, or the game of the 12 scribes. The original from which I copied this was found in a pit, which was probably dug between the end of the 11th century and 1120. The board's quite large. It's 60 centimetres, 24 inches by 48 centimetres, 19 centimetres. Unlike this replica, it was covered with bone plates into which the designs have been cut. The actual board itself was made of willow or poplar, but this had vanished just through decay over the centuries in this rubbish dump. The bone plates themselves have been held in place by iron pins, which were placed irregularly around the board. And the board itself was covered in decorative designs, which I will now show you. Now these include ring and dots, interlacing. There you see the ring and dots, interlacing, foliate designs. The Anglo-Saxons and many of the other peoples in Europe at the time liked vine scroll designs in their art, which was developed from late Roman designs. There you see the vine scroll coming up there, and the foliate designs are actually similar to those found on a silver bowl in Uppsala in Sweden, which dated from the mid-11th century. And there were also trapeze designs, serpents. There you see these interlaced serpents and snakes, and also a dragon fight. And there's a man fighting a dragon there, possibly St. George, and a boar hunt, if you can see them. There you go, I'll just put that there. There. I hope you've managed to see them. Now, the men, which were recovered, they were also made, they had designs based on the zodiac. Now these included a centaur for Sagittarius, there, Virgo, I don't know if you can see that, can you see that? Yes, so Virgo. A toad for Scorpio. I don't know if there are anything toad-like about people born in that star sign. I don't think so. But there's a figure which looks like somebody carrying someone on his back for the month of November. I wonder if it's supposed to represent Saint Christopher carrying the infant Christ, according to the legend. But there you go. A man with an ox. A picture of a hog being butchered. Now that's likely to be a day. In my opinion, it's likely to be a day of the month, or representing one of the months. To the Anglo-Saxons, the 2 months from October and November were known as blood month. blood month, because that was when you killed your animals ready for the winter. There's a seated man with animals, followed by another seated man. There, I don't know if you can see. A picture of Janus feasting or drinking. And Janus was the Roman god from which we get the name January for the month, because it looks both ways. You know, the god of Janus was supposedly had two faces, and one face looks to the past, the other face looks to the future. I think he was also god of doorways. A figure with fish and fowl. A falconer. It doesn't, that doesn't really show it, but there, it is supposed to be a falconer. A squatting figure which may represent the year. A musician with a rebec. A rebec is a violin type instrument, as I've already said in one other of these videos, which were made out of single pieces of wood. They arrived over here circa 1050 from the Byzantine Empire, which was the Roman Empire of the East. An archer. A rider, which, well, riders. There were riders, people who rode around in Anglo-Saxon England. There was a particular official called the rider, who went out riding on his lord's business, taking messages and running errands. There is a seated man who is supposed to be warming himself. A figure which either represents wood gathering or Samson at Gaza. And it's not clear where. Another one, this one may represent Samson representing the lion, and this may represent the month of Leo. And then there's a harpist, who obviously may be King David, because, well, for most Christians, and indeed, for Christians of the time, the harpist, as now, would have been thought in a biblical context as well. And in the Bible, King David plays the harp. A hanged man, which may represent Judas Iscariot in the Bible.